a silent white void. Snow falling so slowly it feels like time has stopped. A frozen road stretching into nothingness. Temperature, 60 degrees. And dropping. No birds, no wind, no signs of life. There are places on Earth where humans were never meant to exist. Places where the air itself can kill you, where your eyelashes freeze before your thoughts can form, and where winter never truly ends. Today, we go inside one of them. This is Oymyakon, the coldest inhabited place on the planet. A village where fire fights the ice every single morning. And only the toughest humans ever wake up again. But the real story isn't the cold. It's the mystery of why people still live here. What keeps them in a land where life bends and nature breaks. Prepare yourself. This is not just a town. It's a frozen world, holding secrets buried beneath 70 degrees below zero. Oymyakon, life at the edge of human survival. Imagine a land so cold that metal snaps, breath crystallizes, and the ground stays frozen for thousands of years. This is Siberia's Sakha Republic, a territory larger than Argentina, yet mostly untouched by humans. In the middle of this frozen desert sits Oymyakon, a tiny village of fewer than 1,000 souls, a place so isolated that even Google Maps struggles to understand it. The beginning of a forgotten history. Oymyakon didn't begin as a town. It began as a stop for reindeer herders. Nomads traveling across the tundra would camp near a natural hot spring, the only warm water source for dozens of miles. That's how Oymyakon got its name. In the Sakha language, it means the water that never freezes. But the irony? Everything else does. As decades passed, herders stayed longer. Families built huts. The Soviet government later expanded the settlement during the 1930s, pushing people deeper into Siberia for mining, agriculture experiments, and sometimes exile. Some arrived by choice, others arrived by force. And slowly, a village formed, one that would endure the most brutal conditions ever recorded. The temperature that shocked the world. On a dark winter morning in 1933, a weather station in Oymyakon recorded 71 degrees and nice one, the coldest temperature ever recorded in a permanently inhabited human settlement. To put it simply, at 71 degrees, your lungs can freeze, your skin can die in minutes, your car becomes a frozen sculpture, your blood thickens, your mind slows. This is not winter. This is survival. Yet somehow, life continued. People woke up, walked to work, sent children to school, fed animals, cut wood, and fought a cold that no human body was designed to endure. What does 60 degrees C feel like? It feels like the air itself is solid, like every breath is an enemy, like nature is quietly trying to delete you. The human body versus Siberian cold. At 50 degrees, frostbite begins in 10 minutes. At 60 degrees, frostbite begins in 2 minutes. At 70 degrees, your eyelashes freeze instantly. Your saliva turns into ice. Your nose hairs become needles. Your tears freeze on your cheeks. Breathing too deeply can crystallize moisture inside your lungs. This is not hypothetical. This happens every single winter day in Oymyakon. The sound of cold. In Oymyakon, the cold is so extreme, you can actually hear it. Wood bends, trees crack, metal pops, like the world is breaking apart. Locals call it the whisper of freezing, a sound unique to places colder than the Arctic. The impossible battle, machines. Cars in Oymyakon never turn off during winter, ever. If you turn the engine off, the oil becomes gel, the battery dies, and the fuel literally freezes in the tank. People leave their cars running for days. Some heat their engines with bonfires. Some use small indoor stoves under the vehicle. Some push their cars into barn-like garages filled with smoke and firewood. Even then, machines lose. Nature always wins. The world looks at Oymyakon and sees impossibility. But inside this frozen valley are families, stories, generations. People who have learned to bend nature, even when it tries to break them. This is not just a cold place. It's a home. The morning that feels like midnight. In Oymyakon, morning is a strange word. During the deep winter months, the sun rises late and weak, if it rises at all. Most mornings begin in total darkness, the air like black glass. Imagine waking up at 7 a.m. and it looks like 3 a.m. No dawn, no golden sky, just endless night. A local mother, Elena, describes it. You wake up and the cold is already inside your bones. The darkness, it has weight. Before stepping outside, she layers her children in wool, fur, padding, another fur, scarf, hood, face cover. You do not get dressed in Oymyakon. You armor up like preparing for war, because the cold is not weather. The cold is an opponent. The school walk, a journey few Westerners could survive. Most children walk to school in temperatures of 45 degrees, sometimes as low as 55 degrees. The school only closes at 55 degrees or lower. Yes, it's below 55 degrees. Anything warmer is considered safe. Imagine that. In most Western countries, schools close for a snowstorm. In Oymyakon, schools close only when the air becomes a direct threat to life. Children walk carefully because even inhaling too fast can hurt their lungs. Their eyelashes turn white halfway to school. A scarf becomes stiff with ice in minutes. Your eyes sting just from squinting. And when they enter school, heat blasts across the room. Steam rises from their clothes. Boots thaw. The classroom smells like cold metal and frost. This is their normal. A life without modern convenience. Electricity flickers. Water pipes freeze solid, so households rely on ice blocks cut from rivers. Families melt them on stoves daily just to drink. Supermarkets. They don't exist here. Most food is reindeer meat, frozen fish eaten like sashimi, horse meat, local berries, bread made at home, animal fat, which keeps the body warm. Vegetables? Fresh fruit? Impossible. Trucks can't transport them. They freeze in transit. Even storing food is strange. Refrigerators are useless. The outside is the real refrigerator. In winter, people hang meat outside like decorations. Nothing spoils. Nothing rots. Cold preserves everything. The fire that never goes out. Inside every home, a wood-burning stove is the center of life, literally. It must stay lit 24/7. If fire dies in the night, the house temperature drops below freezing in hours. The cold moves through walls like a living thing. This is why locals call fire the second heart. Without it, life stops. Families chop wood every week, heavy logs that need to last. When they burn out, they collect more in 40°C conditions. There is no, we'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow might be colder. The real survivors, the animals. Livestock in Oymyakon live differently too. Cows sleep in thick wooden barns heated by stoves. They wear fabric coverings, cow jackets, to stay warm. Horses? They have grown tough fur, and locals breed a unique cold-resistant Oymyakon horse that can survive outdoors at 60 degrees. Dogs? They are the true Siberians and packed with fur, built like wolves, able to run in brutal frost. Animals here evolve into warriors, the human spirit of Oymyakon. Western viewers always ask, why would anyone live here? The answer is complicated. Some families have lived here for generations, deep cultural roots. Some stay for reindeer herding, the land's ancient tradition. Some stay because the world outside is expensive, crowded, stressful. In Oymyakon, life is pure, simple, brutally hard, but honest. There is no traffic, no noise, no pollution, no rush. Just survival, community, silence, and a kind of peace the outside world forgot. When nights stretch for 20 hours, when the stars look close enough to touch, when the cold makes even sound feel slow, Oymyakon becomes something rare. A place where time stands still. A place where humans test the limits of existence and keep pushing. The dark side of this beauty. But beauty always has a price. Locals suffer. Cracked skin, frostbite scars, joint pain, respiratory problems, seasonal depression, isolation, loneliness, lack of medical access, dangerous travel conditions, and most of all, the knowledge that a single mistake outside, a wrong step, a lost glove, a stalled engine, can cost your life. Yet people smile, people laugh, people survive, and that is the true miracle of Oymyakon. The first enemy, the air itself. At 60 degrees C, the air becomes a weapon. When you inhale, the cold tries to freeze the moisture in your lungs. Your nostrils stick together. Your throat burns like breathing in shards of glass. In normal winter, you see your breath. In Oymyakon, your breath becomes ice crystals instantly. They fall to the ground like tiny diamonds. Medical experts say that at 55 degrees C, you lose dexterity in 3 minutes. Exposed skin freezes in 1 to 2 minutes. Muscle performance drops immediately. Brain function slows. The body goes into survival mode. Your own body becomes a battlefield. The cold slows down time inside you. At extreme cold, blood thickens slightly. Circulation slows, and the heart works harder. The immune system weakens. Your liver burns stored fat aggressively to maintain body heat. Even blinking feels heavier because your eyelid moisture freezes at the edges. Doctors who visit Oymyakon describe it like this. The body fights quietly. You don't feel the damage until it's already done. This is why locals move slowly. Not because they are tired, but because rushing costs energy and energy costs heat. Frostbite, the silent destroyer. Frostbite is not dramatic at first. There's no scream, no burning pain. It begins as a numb spot, a pale patch of skin, a strange tingling. But beneath the skin, cells are dying. The cold freezes water inside your cells, ice crystals form, cell walls burst. If untreated, flesh turns black. Some locals have had fingertips amputated simply because they removed a glove for 30 seconds too long. This is why hands are always covered. Ears, noses, cheeks, every part of the body must remain hidden because the cold is hunting for skin. Engineering for survival, why nothing works in Oymyakon. Cars don't just struggle in Oymyakon, they die. Motor oil thickens, fuel turns to jelly, metal contracts and cracks, batteries freeze. So locals keep engines running all day, even when parked. Fuel costs are high, but restarting is impossible in the deep cold. Trucks delivering goods run non-stop for entire days. If a car stops working on the road, you don't call for help. You freeze. That's why every driver carries blankets, extra fuel, portable heaters, thermoses, emergency flares, tools, ropes, food, and sometimes even a gun for wolves. Transportation here is not convenience. It is survival engineering. The special boots that can save a life. Locals wear boots made from reindeer hide called torbasa. Why reindeer? Because reindeer fur traps air inside. It's nature's insulation technology. Torbasa boots are so warm that they can protect feet even at 70 degrees. Modern materials? Impossible. Plastic cracks, rubber shatters, synthetic fabrics stiffen. Reindeer fur is the only thing that adapts. This is not fashion. This is ancient science. How the human body adapts in Oymyakon. Long-term residents undergo real physiological changes. Higher basal metabolism. Their bodies burn calories faster to generate heat. More brown fat. This is a special type of fat used for thermal regulation. Stronger cardiovascular efficiency. The heart becomes more efficient at pumping warm blood through the limbs. Skin thickens slightly, a natural adaptation after years of exposure. Pain tolerance increases. Cold becomes familiar, not comfortable, but manageable. Western visitors often collapse under the cold. Locals walk through it like it's routine. This is not toughness. This is evolution, happening in real time. The science of fire, why warmth is a lifeline. Fire behaves strangely here. It burns blue because the air is so cold. Dry wood has less moisture, making flames sharper, faster. But fire also disappears quickly in open air. Gusts of icy wind steal the heat instantly. Inside homes, the stove must run constantly because walls bleed heat at all times. A single hour without fire, temperature drops dangerously. This is why elders say, in Oymyakon, a cold house is death waiting politely. The mystery of extreme cold. Time feels different here. Locals describe something unusual. Time slows. Seconds feel longer. Moments stretch. Sound becomes duller and more distant. Scientists explain this as a mix of sensory slowdown, blood thickening, audio dampening in cold air, psychological isolation, darkness affecting perception. In a place where the sun barely rises, your mind begins to measure time differently. Some call it peaceful, some call it unsettling. Both are true. Why humans shouldn't survive here, but they do. Every scientific rule says humans are not meant to live in this climate, and yet they do. Because the science of survival is not just physical. It is cultural, it is emotional, it is mental. People survive because they believe they must, because their ancestors did, because this land is part of them. This is the paradox of Oymyakon. It is a place too cold for life, yet full of life stronger than anywhere else. The death zone of Oymyakon. You hear stories about dangerous places on Earth, volcanoes, deserts, deep oceans. But Oymyakon? Oymyakon is a danger you cannot see, a danger you cannot fight. It's a danger that slowly shuts down everything that makes you human. In this part, we go into the death zone of the coldest inhabited place on Earth, where the rules of survival collapse, and where nature silently squeezes the life out of you the moment your body fails you. At 50 degrees C, your face burns. At 60 degrees C, your breath freezes in your nostrils. At 67 degrees, the temperature, Oymyakon has recorded, you're no longer fighting the weather. You're fighting time. When you breathe in, the air is so cold it can damage the lining of your lungs. If you touch metal with your skin, it rips flesh off instantly like glue. If your hands are exposed, they stop responding. Your brain screams at them to move. They don't. This isn't dramatic. This is medically proven. Your muscles stiffen. Your blood circulation slows. Your heartbeat becomes irregular. Your vision blurs. Your brain prioritizes survival and starts shutting down functions you don't need. The cold doesn't kill you fast. It kills you systematically. The silence that feels wrong. People who have visited Oymyakon say the first thing they notice isn't the cold. It's the silence. There are no birds, no insects, no flowing rivers. Even the trees stand frozen, unmoving. When temperatures drop below 60 degrees, sound behaves differently. Your footsteps are muffled. Your breath feels heavy. It's like the world is on mute. One traveler described it as standing in a place where the earth feels abandoned. And that's exactly what Oymyakon feels like. A place humans weren't supposed to be. The danger of cold blackout. There is a horrifying phenomenon that happens in extreme cold. Cold-induced cognitive impairment. Your brain enters a fog. Your reasoning collapses. Your survival instinct malfunctions. People have been seen removing their gloves, opening their jackets, or even sitting down on the snow as if they're tired. It's called paradoxical undressing. Caused when your nerves begin shutting down, sending false signals that you're overheating. Imagine that. Your body tricking you into doing the one thing that kills you faster. That's what Oymyakon can do. Where machines die before humans do. Cars don't work without being stored in heated garages. Engines freeze. Fuel thickens like jelly. Tears stiffen. Glass becomes fragile. You can't leave your car off for more than a few minutes. It might never turn on again. Phones, dead in minutes. Cameras, batteries collapse. Ink freezes. Pens stop writing. Metal snaps. This isn't weather. This is a mechanical graveyard. The deadly trap of the empty white. People underestimate how dangerous it is to get slightly lost here. When everything is buried under white snow, you lose the horizon. You lose depth. You lose direction. Every direction looks the same. Every path disappears. This is called whiteout disorientation, and in Oymyakon, it can kill you within an hour. The eternal night. In winter, the sun barely rises. The days feel like permanent twilight. The nights feel endless. People begin to lose sense of time. They sleep too much, or too little. Your mind becomes unstable. Doctors have studied this. Extreme cold plus darkness, psychological stress similar to deep isolation experiments. People report hearing sounds that aren't real, feeling watched, or experiencing hallucinations. Oymyakon is not just cold, it's mentally corrosive. But what's even more terrifying? People live here every day, every month, every year. They raise families, they farm, they hunt, they walk outside like it's normal. This is what makes Oymyakon fascinating. It pushes the limits of what humans can survive, and yet life continues. The people who should not survive but do. You've heard the science. You've heard the danger. You've heard how Oymyakon punishes the human body. But now we enter the part that truly bends reality. How do people survive here? And why do they stay? Because what happens in Oymyakon is not just about cold. It's about human endurance that shouldn't even be possible. And some stories from this frozen village sound almost unreal. But they're documented, recorded, and confirmed. The day-to-day life that makes no sense. In any other place, 67 would shut down an entire city. In Oymyakon, children still go to school. Let me repeat that. School only closes when temperatures drop below 55 degrees. Anything warmer than that, it's considered a normal day. Imagine walking to school with your eyelashes frozen into needles, your coat turning into a shell of ice, your breath forming crystals that fall to the ground. Kids here grow up in conditions most humans would call unlivable. The village where nothing can rot. This is something nobody thinks about until they see it. Nothing decomposes. Food stays preserved for months. Animal carcasses stay intact. Meat doesn't smell. Even garbage, if left outside, looks frozen in time. It's like nature pressed the pause button on all biological activity. This is why locals still use something ancient called an ice cellar. A deep pit dug into the permafrost that stays frozen year-round. You just toss food inside, and that's your refrigerator. Not cold, frozen, rock hard. The water problem you never expected. In Oymyakon, plumbing is impossible. Pipes freeze instantly. So how do they drink water? They carve blocks of ice from rivers and bring them home. Then they melt it manually. Imagine waking up every day, chopping ice, carrying 50-pound blocks home, melting them over a wood-burning stove, just to have a cup of water. You don't live in Oymyakon. You survive Oymyakon, one of the strangest traditions on Earth. Tourists who manage to visit often ask the same question. What do people eat? Because crops can't grow, vegetables freeze. Nothing survives outside. So what do locals eat? A diet that feels like something from the last ice age. Frozen horse meat, reindeer meat, yakut fish that's eaten raw and frozen like sashimi, animal fat, lots of it. Broth so thick it turns to jelly in seconds. Why so much fat? Because fat burns slowly in the body and provides long-lasting heat. It's a biological shield against the cold. The people here have adapted, not spiritually, not culturally, but physically. Your phone dies, your camera dies, your car dies, but the locals don't. To an outsider, everything feels like a hazard. But residents, they move calmly. They understand the cold like we understand electricity. Invisible, dangerous, but manageable. They keep 2 of everything. 2 gloves, 2 scarves, 2 lighters, 2 heat packs. Because here, losing even one essential item can be fatal. The supernatural sounding effect of living in extreme cold. Here's a fact scientists love studying. People in Oymyakon can detect changes in temperature better than most humans. Even a shift from 60 degree to 65 degrees C is noticeable to them. Their skin receptors are trained. Their reflexes are sharper. Their metabolism runs hotter. Doctors who visit the region find something bizarre. The average body temperature of long-term residents is slightly higher than the global average. It's adaptation in real time, not evolution over thousands of years, but humans adjusting within a few generations. This is what makes Oymyakon special. It's like a natural laboratory that shows how far the human body can bend without breaking. But survival is not guaranteed. Every winter incidents happen. A traveler ignoring warnings, a hunter going too far into the forest, a vehicle breaking down in the wrong place. People disappear. Sometimes they're found, sometimes they're not. In a land where time freezes, the cold turns mistakes into tragedies almost instantly. But we're still not done. The final truth of Oymyakon. There are places on this planet where you feel small, places that remind you how fragile we really are. But Oymyakon does something different. It tests you. It studies you. It watches every step you take, waiting for even the smallest mistake. Because here, nature is not a background. Nature is the main character, a character that does not forgive. And yet, in this frozen valley of Siberia, where the cold is sharp enough to cut through steel, and the wind is strong enough to steal the breath straight from your lungs, people live anyway, not because they are fearless, not because they enjoy suffering, but because their roots run deeper than the ice beneath their feet. The history, few outsiders know. Long before documentaries, before explorers, before scientists, Oymyakon was home to nomadic reindeer herders. For them, it wasn't the coldest inhabited place on Earth. It was simply home. They believed the valley had a spirit, a soul made of ice and breath and silence. A place where the boundary between life and death was thin, and only the strongest hearts could walk freely. When Stalin built roads through this region, workers described Oymyakon as a place where time died. Machines froze, metal snapped, shovels stuck to hands. Men cried from pain, but their tears froze before hitting the ground. Some never made it back. Their stories are buried under meters of snow, forgotten to everyone except the land itself. The coldest night ever recorded. On February 6, 1933, the cold sank deeper than ever, 67 a temperature no human should experience awake. Fires refused to burn. Breath turned into solid crystals. Villagers recall hearing cracks in the air, the sound of trees exploding from the cold. Imagine that. Not breaking, not snapping, exploding. The pressure of frozen moisture inside the wood built up until the trunk burst apart. The land wasn't just cold. It was alive, changing, groaning, reacting, a frozen beast stirring beneath the darkness. The dark side of a place that never warms. Visitors often describe something strange, a sensation of being watched, not by people, not by animals, but by the land itself. The silence is too heavy, the shadows too still, the air too thick with something ancient. Some swear that when you walk far enough from the village, you feel the world grow quieter with each step, as if sound itself refuses to follow you. Locals don't entertain ghost stories or legends, not because they don't exist, but because in a place this dangerous, you don't distract yourself with fear you can't afford. You respect the land. You stay humble. You survive. The science behind this impossible place. Scientists who study Oymyakon say it's like an open-air laboratory, a valley that traps Arctic air, a climate locked in place by wind patterns, a frozen ecosystem where evolution slows down, permafrost deeper than the foundations of skyscrapers, water that cannot exist naturally as liquid for months at a time, biological processes that simply pause. It's the closest thing we have on Earth to studying how life behaves on another planet. Not Mars, not the Moon, but something even stranger. A world where life exists at the limits of physical law. The human spirit that refuses to break. Despite everything, despite the pain, despite the danger, despite the isolation, life continues. People laugh. Families grow. Stories are told. Weddings happen. Children play under skies so cold the air sparkles. It's not misery, it's resilience. The world doesn't give Oymyakon a reason to stay alive, but the people keep living anyway. And that is what makes this place miraculous. The final question. Why does Oymyakon matter? Why tell this story at all? Because it reveals something about us, about humanity. It shows the limits of our endurance. It shows the strength we never see until we need it. It shows the strange, beautiful ways humans adapt to impossible environments. And it reminds us, we are far stronger than we think. We can outlast storms we never imagined. We can find warmth where none should exist. Even in a valley forgotten by time, even in the coldest place on Earth, life finds a way to breathe. If this journey into the heart of the cold moved you, if it made you feel the weight of the silence, the bite of the wind, and the strength of the people who survive the unsurvivable, then join me. Subscribe, because this channel is only just beginning. Together we'll explore the unseen corners of our world, places that test humanity, shape history, and challenge everything we think we know. Thank you for watching. Stay curious, stay brave, and I'll see you in the next expedition.